This week's Parsha is Parshas Terumah. In Parshas Terumah, towards the end, the Torah talks about the atzei shittim, the beams, the acacia beams used to construct the walls of the tabernacle, of the Mishkan. These acacia beams were used by the Levim who constructed the tabernacle, and they were taken apart and put back together every time the Jewish people traveled. They have a long history, these beams, where the wood came from, the actual material. Remember, the Jewish people were in the desert, and in the desert you have no wood. So it required some forethought to bring the wood with them in order to build the tabernacle. So where did they come from? So the Medrash says that long time ago, Avram had planted trees, acacia trees, in Beersheba. Yaakov, his grandson, upon deciding to move to Egypt, to move to Mitzrayim, prophesied that in the future the Jewish people would be building a tabernacle in the desert. Therefore, decided to cut down the acacia trees in order to prepare for that construction, which only happened 210 years later, around. Those beams were then taken down to Egypt, and when the Jewish people left Egypt, were redeemed from Egypt from the slavery, when they went into the desert, they carried those beams with them. They carried those trees with them, the materials with them, relying on the prophecy of Yaakov that they would need them for the tabernacle. So in effect, these beams were almost like a family tradition, that they were carried down from generation to generation, that they knew that these beams, one day when they'll be redeemed from Egypt, these beams will be used to create a sanctuary for where they will bring sacrifices and have a relationship with Hashem. These beams also are special in a different way. The pasuk says that the atzei shittim were oimdim, they stood. And from here, the Gemara learns that they will never erode, and also that it will stay in its fabricated form upon disuse, meaning that when the time came for the Mishkan, the tabernacle, to be decommissioned, when it was hidden wherever it was hidden in its fabricated state. And further, it will never erode. Those beams, even though the natural state of wood is to erode with time, those beams will never ever erode. They will stand forever and ever. And furthermore, they'll stand in their fabricated state. Why is that? Why would it be important that they stand in their fabricated state? Well, first thing to note is that of all of the temples, of the sanctuaries we've had to show our relationship with Hashem, the first, second temple, and of course the Mishkan, the tabernacle, only one is still around. The first and second Beis HaMikdash temples were destroyed, but the Mishkan, according to the Gemara, is still alive and kicking, somewhere hidden. It's still there, and it's entirely constructed. So why did the tabernacle deserve to be kept through all this time, as opposed to the two temples? So the answer is that the people who donated the materials to the Mishkan, to the tabernacle, had the purest of intents, and they were so excited about the performance of this great mitzvah. Because of that, it endures forever and ever. And we see this from Yaakov himself. Yaakov prepared his children. He gave them this prophecy that in the future they will have this tabernacle. And all this time while they were in slavery in Egypt, they were looking forward to the final day when they'll actually exit Egypt and create this place where they can have a relationship with Hashem. That type of intent was so pure that it could only last forever and ever. Just a question on this parsha. Right in the beginning of the parsha, where it talks about the people who donated, it's very interesting. It says, "V'yikchu li truma," you should take from me truma. And then it says, "Mi'ez kol yis asher yidvena liba," from any man who his heart feels like it wants to give a donation. Tikchu is trumasi, take my truma. So isn't it interesting? It seems like that this donation was not mandatory. It was supposed to be given in a way that you give what you want to give and as much as you want to give, with a donative intent, like the verse states. But at the same time, it keeps on saying, take my truma, take my truma, take my truma. Take sounds like you're not giving, someone's taking it from you, which sounds like it's not voluntary. It sounds like it's involuntary, that someone's taking it away from you without your permission. So why would the verse use the language of take when it's trying to relay that it was a voluntary donation to the Mishkan? Have a great Shabbos.